This is Michael Popok for Legal AF. An Arizona criminal court judge has told MAGA lawyer Rudy Giuliani to give it a rest and give it up and stop raising nonsensical motions that don't have one scintilla of evidence and support in the criminal prosecution by the Arizona Attorney General against Rudy Giuliani and others, almost Donald Trump, who were involved with the attempt to stop the peaceful transfer of power. What's Rudy done now? Now, let's just put this in perspective. Rudy is no longer a lawyer. There's no other nice way to put it. Rudy lost his bar license last year in New York. Rudy lost his bar license a week ago in the District of Columbia. He's now just, another 80-year-old that lives in Florida. And he's decided, however, through counsel, to attack the grand jury in Arizona and argue what else? That the grand jury was politically motivated, that the grand jury was all Democrats. It wasn't a grand jury of his peers. He's not entitled to that anyway. And he only got indicted because it was overweighted with Democratic grand jurors. Sounds fantastic. I'm sure it's selling a couple of T-shirts on his America's Mayor podcast, but it's untrue. And the judge in Maricopa County told him that in a new decision. Let me read to you from the new order that shows you that, let's be frank, Rudy has not only lost his fastball, he's lost all of his balls. Let's just leave it at that. So the main argument that Rudy's lawyers were making is that the grand jury in this case was somehow politically biased against him. The judge said, you haven't presented one scintilla of evidence, not one scintilla of information to support that claim. In fact, the judge goes on to say that the 93rd grand jury, meaning the 93rd grand jury impaneled in Arizona, wasn't even a grand jury that was dedicated to the Arizona election interference case. It was just a regular old grand jury that had been up and running, hearing lots of different cases all at the same time. That it wasn't a special purpose grand jury. It wasn't even selected for Rudy Giuliani. It was selected a long time ago. As the court says in the second page of its order, the court further notes that the 93rd grand jury who indicted defendant Giuliani was impaneled well before this matter was ready for presentation to the grand jury. It predated the Arizona Attorney General's start of her investigation or the prosecution of Rudy Giuliani. This was not a special grand jury, the court continues, to address the charges brought against these various defendants. Rather, it was just a regular sitting grand jury. There is therefore no reliable information, and of course, Rudy Giuliani doesn't provide any, to suggest that the impaneling of this grand jury occurred in contemplation of this case or with a political agenda in mind. This court continues to strive for efficient management of this case, and in doing so, there are compromises that can be reached, and hopes that there are. But along those lines, there is an opportunity to address the threshold question posed. Was a political party affiliation information as to a potential grand juror known or available to the grand jury commissioner at the time they were summoned for jury service? To answer this question, he's just going to get to the bottom of it. The judge directs the Arizona Attorney General's office to secure an affidavit declaring whether political party affiliation was even available to the grand juror. This should take it off the table. But he did give a little bit to Giuliani, but knowing that frankly they didn't ask about party affiliation. In all other respects, the relief is denied as to Giuliani, and leave will only be granted if the disclosures that he's asked for reveal any factual basis for the inquiry. What does it all mean in English? I spend most of my day in front of a screen and a microphone. And this used to mean I spent a lot of my days sitting. The research on sitting for long periods has been linked with various conditions such as poor heart health, bad posture, diabetes, and the list goes on. This is why I love Uplift Desk and their ergonomic desks and chairs. A standing desk can help lower your risk of disease, improve your mood and focus, boost productivity, and increase your energy. I use my Uplift Desk every day. When I'm standing up thinking with a cup of joe about how to prepare for my next hot take or podcast episode, I'm not staring into space. It's my most productive ruminating and cogitating me time at my uplift desk. And only when I'm on my feet do my creative juices really start to flow. The option to move while I work promotes better circulation, which can reduce all types of different health risks and repetitive strains. Uplift Desk helps you build your custom dream desk by choosing from over 100 desktop choices and hundreds of accessories. Their desk configurator lets you build out a complete workstation with storage, seating, wire management. Listen, when I used it, I had my perfect dream standing desk that I've wanted for over 30 years configured in less than 10 minutes. I had loads of fun configuring my uplift desk, starting with picking my tabletop. I went with a beautiful walnut butcher block, added white legs and storage drawers, wheels for mobility, and a number of cool cable management and pop-up and power grommets for my perfect custom uplift desk. I especially like the different control options and memory settings that puts the desk at just the perfect height for me and lets my wife join in on the productive fun when she visits at the office too. We've got a special deal and it's exclusive to our audience. When you visit our link at upliftdesk.com/legalaf, you're going to get 4 free accessories. Free same-day shipping, free returns with free shipping, and an industry-leading 15-year warranty that covers the entire desk, plus an extra discount off your entire order. That's upliftdesk.com/legalaf for a special offer, and it's only available at our link. Work better, live healthier with Uplift Desk. Rudy Giuliani's trying to find a way to throw out his indictment. He's trying to argue that the grand jury somehow is politically biased against him without any evidence whatsoever. The judge, as you just saw, bent over backwards to give him an affidavit from the person in charge of the grand jury. But even that's not going to help Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani has a lot of problems, as we've talked about. He's been disbarred, not just temporarily suspended in 2 different jurisdictions. It is no longer a lawyer, can no longer represent himself or provide legal services. He's facing had to pay $148 million running with interest. That's a lot of interest. It's like $30,000 a day or so in a judgment, federal judgment against him, held by 2 judgment creditors who used to be election workers in Fulton County, Georgia, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, which he hasn't paid. He's got a bankruptcy that he tried to file to avoid paying, and that got dismissed for bad faith filing by the judge, who also awarded, and he's got to pay Rudy Giuliani $300,000 to pay for professionals in the bankruptcy to look at his assets and to monitor his assets in a bankruptcy that got dismissed. So he owes more money because of his stupid idea to file a bankruptcy. Now, he has to sell his house in New York, sell his house in Florida, turn over the keys to the Mercedes and all the Yankee memorabilia to the judgment creditors, led by Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, right? He's down to nothing. They had to hold a party for him at a restaurant for his birthday. While he was at the party, he got served with the lawsuit related to all this, and he got served with the indictment in Arizona while he's at his birthday party. So he's indicted in Georgia. He's now indicted in Arizona. He's an unindicted co-conspirator in the Jack Smith D.C. election interference case in the District of Columbia. Things are not going well for this guy. He's writing some sort of book about the Biden crime family. Talk about a day late and a dollar short. Apparently he got somebody to publish, but hasn't come out yet. He tries to grift his way through podcast appearances. He says that Donald Trump owes him $1 million in legal fees, which he'll never see. Sad, sad tale of Rudy Giuliani circling the drain, but apparently not fast enough, especially for the court system in Arizona. We'll continue to follow it. We got so much to talk about at the intersection of law and politics that we're bursting at the seams. That MeidasTouch and me formed a new channel. We call it Legal AF. It's the Legal AF channel on YouTube. You find it at Legal AF MTN for MeidasTouch Network. Yes, we created it together in collaboration with them. And if you go there now, free subscribe, just hit that oval subscribe button and help us get to 200,000 subscribers before Halloween. Boo! I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. You can only find it in one place. Find out what 40 million people already know every month. that Legal AF is the home of commentary and analysis at the intersection of law and politics like no other brand. When you come over, you're going to find me there, Legal AF MTN. You're going to find other great commentators that you've come to love and respect from the Meidas universe. They've come over to contribute at Legal AF MTN, and some new voices you haven't heard of yet. And a new show that we're launching in the next day called Unprecedented, exclusively on the MeidasTouch Legal AF channel, Legal AF MTN, where we'll talk every week about the United States Supreme Court and what to expect for the upcoming term. So until my next hot take, my next Legal AF podcast, Wednesdays and Saturdays, 8 p.m., YouTube Eastern Time on the MeidasTouch network, and all my new work exclusively for Legal AF MTN. This is Michael Popok, and I'm reporting. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.